Today we're going to be working on all of my trucks. Well, not all of them. Don't worry, your time will come. This one needs some rear brakes because, well, they're scraping. This one right here, 53 Chevy and 89 Dodge chassis and running gear. My cooling fans aren't working. They are electric, so I got some other fans that come out of a scrap car, an Elantra actually. So I got to try to wire up some new cooling fans because she is overheating pretty bad. And the old second gen back there, she's got a pretty good misfire into her. And when I first started at the beginning of the season, my alternator was seized up. So I did pick up a new alternator as well. So let's start with this pile of junk. Perfect. Let's just give the suspension a quick look over while she's on the ramp. We can check for leaks and whatnot. I did get this thing undercoated last year, but as you can see, a lot of it is gone, so I will need to get that done again. I also soon need to get new tires, but I just might start looking around on Marketplace for a nice set of wheels with tires already on them, and maybe even a leveling kit. Let's replace those brakes. Step 1, remove the lug nuts. Step 3, learn some karate and donkey kick that wheel right off. Step 4, connect 2 wrenches together like this. Step 5, smash your knuckles. After you wipe your tears, you can take out these 2 bolts. Step 9, remove the caliper and push back the piston. Step 6, let the caliper hang on the brake line. For step 13, we're going to want to get a chrome socket and give it some extra ooga dooga doogas. Step 20, remove the anchor. Lord, thunder and Jesus, these pads were good for another 3 months yet. Step 22, remove the rotor clips and throw them right in the garbage. Step 25, smack it with a hammer. Step 27, put in your purse and get a bigger hammer. Just like me, this rotor is warped. Step 30, clean up the hub and put on a 2-inch layer of anti-seize. Step 31, get the cheapest brakes you can find on Amazon and clean them off with the dirtiest rag you got. Throw the rotor on. Step 33, clean up Titanic's anchors and give everything a good coat of lube. It's very important to torque out to spec. Click, click, throw on the caliper, over tighten the bolts and strip out the heads for the next guy. Now I gotta do the other side. I just love that for me. Now we can grab the next pile of junk. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a 53 Chevy body on an 89 Dodge, I guess, I don't know what they were, D150s or whatever back then. It's on a Dodge chassis and running gear. It's got a 318 engine with a 4-speed standard transmission. The box is actually homemade. And it does have an electric fan set up in it now, but they gave out. And this, what you're looking at right there, is a fan that came out of an Elantra that I scrapped. And as you can see here, the wiring is like a giant bird's nest or, you know, a bowl of spaghetti. I actually bought this truck like this. I didn't build it. I bought this last year for $2,800. And all I used it all last year. All I done with it was put a set of tires on it. So honestly, not too bad. This is my first real issue with it, and it's not even barely an issue. It's a pretty easy fix. Cooling fans from an Elantra and a wiring harness from an LED light bar. This harness has a fuse, a relay, and a switch, so it should work perfect. That is, if I can get the fans to even fit, which is not looking too promising. So let's trim them up with the grinder and try again. Yeah, they still don't fit. So let's pop this off and check the cooling fan that's already there. All right, I got my 2 wires hooked up to this fan that was already the fan that was already in there, and that fan works perfect. So I think I'm just going to reinstall this fan with this harness. I must have a wiring issue. And I'm not picking through this bowl of spaghetti to find it. This is supposed to be on the back of the radiator, and it's supposed to suck air through the radiator. And what this is doing is sucking it out of the engine bay. If I reverse these 2 wires here, it should make my fan go in reverse, shouldn't it? And I'm no electrician. This is an electric motor, so I'm assuming if I do that, it'll be reverse polarity. Should spin the opposite direction. So now I'm blowing here. Is that right? I want to blow it that way, right? So I'm sucking here and I'm blowing there. So that is right. So this is right what I got done here now. So I think I'm gonna reinstall this fan back there now. All right, I got my wires all hooked up to the fan. The fan is secured there with a few zip ties. Good enough. All of this harness right there, I'm gonna have to zip tie it away somewhere. My relay and whatnot, I'll mount all this up somewhere. I'm hooked up to the battery. This is all good to go. This is my switch. So this switch right here, I'm gonna have to run inside the cab somewhere and mount it. But listen, she's on now. And if I put my hand here, I can feel the wind coming right through that radiator, which is excellent. So let's put her back together, mount the switch next to the ignition so I don't forget it, top up the coolant, and call it done. Let's take her out for a rip and make sure she don't overheat. I don't have a working temp gauge, but I'm assuming if she don't puke coolant out of her, then she's fixed. She's done like dinner. It's the next day, and we got one more truck to fix. So let's grab the next pile of junk and get to work. I'm basically a smurf, so I'm gonna need this bench. We got brand new plugs, a couple new battery terminals, a brand new alternator, and even a belt. We're going to start off by replacing 8 of these spark plugs. They aren't horrible looking, but they are pretty crusty, so I'm hoping that this is going to take care of the misfire issue. Just make sure my new ones are the same. Now we can throw them in the truck. And yes, I definitely torqued all this to spec. Alright, we got 8 of those spark plugs replaced. I'm going to go ahead now, we're going to chuck in that alternator and belt. Don't forget to disconnect the battery first though. Haul out that old belt. Make sure my new one and my old one are the exact same size. Just a handful of nuts and bolts, and we can yank out that alternator. Or you can use your butterfingers and drop it, in which case you can haul it out from the bottom. Let's check real quick and make sure our new alternator is the same as our old alternator. You never know what you're buying when you're ordering stuff online. Man, I wonder what happened to this alternator. Yeah, anyways, now we can chuck in this new alternator, torque it all to spec, click, click. How nice of Dodge to think about their customers and leave them with this nice flat workbench. Anyways, the alternator is all in, tightened up. Next thing we gotta do is put on that belt. So slide the belt down, wrap it around a few pulleys, and way to go. Bob's your uncle. Why did they stop putting this on vehicles? It makes it so much easier when putting that belt on. You don't need to look up a diagram on Google. You don't need to draw out that belt on a piece of cardboard or whatever. It's right there. You just gotta look at it. Now let's pop out that battery and replace those old, worn, broken terminals with these brand new shiny ones. It's as simple as unbolting the old ones and bolting in the new ones. Nothing to it. Throw the battery back in her. Hook up the positive and negative terminals and tighten them down. The battery hold down is long gone, but we got a bungee cord. She purrs like a kitten. Please take note, this thing is supposed to be positive traction. Got that DIY line lock, if you know what I mean. She's running so much better, boys. So much better. Woohoo! Power, baby! The gas light is on, so we gotta get some gas, check the mail. Woo! Well, we're back. The truck is running so good. Probably the best that it's ran in years, honestly. I've been daily driving this thing around. It's been working really good, and now I guess it's going to work better. She sounds good, she's big, she looks good in my opinion. This is like the best looking Dodge truck ever. But she is pretty slow, you know. She got that big old 5.9 Magnum 360 V8, but there's no power there, hey. Let's open up our package that we got from the mail. This one is from L Brake up in Barrie, Ontario. Thanks for the package, buddy. Okay, we got a little plate here and there's a note inside. We got a little something here. Oh, buddy! Thanks, man. You can never go wrong with one of these. You just seen what I put in my pocket. This one is ancient. This has been kicking around for years. Now I can have another one for the pocket. A new one. Let's go, buddy. We gotta test the flick, right? Woo! We can retire this one now, and now we can put this one in the pocket. Let's see what we got in here now. We got another plate for the wall and a note. Look, boys, honestly, look at this. So sick. He says he's a fellow islander living in Ontario. Back in the day, my father used to work in Ontario. So every summer when I was a kid, we used to go to Ontario for the entire summer. So I did spend a lot of time in Ontario myself. Well, buddy, thanks for the package. Thanks for the plate. Thanks for the new package opener. Let's hang her up on the wall. I think it's only fitting that this one would go right above the Islander sign. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Huge shout out to Mr. Brake. Thanks for the plate. I'll see you on the next one.